In June 1969, an uprising took place at the Stonewall Inn in New York City. As it was raided by the police in the early hours, 3 nights of unrest followed, with LGBT people, long frustrated by police brutality, finally fighting back. Lesbians and trans women of colour were some of the key people involved in the act of resistance. This anniversary is a reminder of the power of standing together in defiance of those who seek to divide us. A quote by Stonewall.
This Pride Month, we will be sharing with our Fluff community history, information, and methods of engaging with the Black Lives Matter movement. Without Black, Indigenous, and people of colour, the LGBTQIA+ community would not have the rights we have today, and we need to work together to create a safer world where no one is killed because of the colour of their skin. Hi, I'm Emma, she, her.
And I'm Jess, she, her.
And this is Fluff,
the podcast about friendship, love, unfortunate failure, and fun.
Happy birthday
I was going to do the same.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jessica. Happy birthday to you.
Oh God, I really didn't expect it to come out like that. I was trying to do a Wendy, Emma's mum, who rung me on my birthday, and her and Emma's dad, Peter, did the most beautiful singing rendition. As did Ingrid's parents. It was so cute. They
it was
sang
really
in English.
cute when both my parents and my in-laws spoke to Jess on her birthday, not to us, but to Jess. It was great.
Yeah. So, it was my 30th at the weekend, turned 30.
Yay!
Lockdown birthday. And we had a lot of fun, what we can remember of it.
Well, I remember everything, so I'll help you fill in the blanks today.
Thank you. Please. And so within this episode on birthdays, we're going to be talking about some of our birthday memories. We're going to be talking about when birthdays are actually very difficult for people. Like, birthday blues is a real thing. Yeah. And actually it can be linked into trauma, into mental health. So we'll be highlighting also why some people might not feel like celebrating their birthday and how to support that. And then we're going to talk about an amazing charity called Body and Soul and highlight some fantastic work by Lem Sissy, who I met at an event of theirs last week. Last week?
Oh, you were at an event last week?
Last November 2019.
Yay. Oh, Jess, what are we drinking today, and who are we drinking to?
Exactly. So we are drinking a Pimm's today, that summer drink, which is quite funny because we were going to drink it on my birthday. We brought all of it for it. But we got so wasted on Prosecco that the Pimm's didn't happen.
She says we.
I was bladdered.
Yeah.
Without remembering I was bladdered.
I was just quite tipsy. I skipped a lot of rounds, though.
Well, Ingrid just never left my glass empty, and I was chucking it back.
To be honest.
Yeah. And I was too excited to eat my brunch. We'll go into it. So I was on an empty stomach, and I think I had 2 bottles of Prosecco, and then we'll let you know what happened next. Or Emma will, because I don't remember. But also we got it because it was so hot and sunny, and now it is so cold and rainy. Well, cold and rainy, but humid.
It's still humid, yeah.
So in our Pimm's, so Pimm's is a lovely... Oh, actually, now I've forgotten. Like, I used to know all of this because I had worked in a Pimm's bar. But it's kind of like lots of different fruity, spicy flavours and a liquor. And then we've got lemonade with ours. And we've got some frozen berries, some frozen red berries, mint leaves, which is key. Orange. I put all the rest of the strawberries in my smoothie this morning, and I'm rationing the cucumber for us because we're a bit low on supplies. But normally you might put cucumber in it. You could put apple in it.
Yeah.
Basically anything you want. And it's just really nice. When I taste it, it tastes like my teenage years. Because my mum let me have it when I was a teenager, actually. I was well chuffed. I felt well mature. Like 30,
it's like something you have on... on a patio. It's like, it just tastes like a summer afternoon drink.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can get slow like a slow Pimm's, is it? It's like a slow gin kind of one. Different types of Pimm's.
Interesting.
But who are we drinking to today? So going forward, we are highlighting for Black Lives Matter key figures that we should know about and be speaking about, and maybe who we didn't know about before. And today we are drinking to Dr. Harold Moody. Now, I didn't actually know about Dr. Harold Moody before, and I learnt this in Rennie Edo-Lodge's book, Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. And I learnt about him in the chapter Histories. So Dr. Harold Moody was a doctor, medical doctor, and is from Jamaica, born in 1882. And Dr. Harold Moody came over to England because among Jamaicans at that time, Britain was seen as the mother country. So he came here expecting to be able to work, to be able to better his life, I'm putting in quotation marks. But immediately upon arriving here, in London Paddington it was, he found that actually Britain was so inhospitable and was not welcoming and experienced racism from the very beginning. That included not getting work. All potential employers did not want to hire a black man. And this was at King's College, for example.
Right.
And then what happened is that Dr. Moody, as he's called, was also a Christian and was using his Christian values to try and help promote why we should be kind to everyone and inclusive of everyone and why racism is unacceptable. And he established what is called the League of Coloured Peoples in 1931. And it was a Christian mission, and it was a campaign to promote and protect the social, educational, economic and political interests of its members, to improve relations between the races, and to interest members in the welfare of coloured people in all parts of the world. And this was a quarterly journal this was first published in, called The Keys. And so Dr. Moody, his work with the League of Coloured Peoples was quite possibly, it says here, says Renee, Britain's first anti-racism campaign in the 20th century. And it would have far-reaching implication for Britain's race relations in the future. So basically, yeah, some of the first big campaigns and work being done by Dr. Harold Moody.
Oh, thank you, Harry.
Yeah, there we go. To you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that's yummy.
Yeah, it's nice. Goes down like a treat.
Yeah, it's super fruity.
Yay! So this month, you probably heard in our intro, and if you listen to our other episode this week, we are making sure that for Pride Month, we are lending our platform to the Black Lives Matter movement. And so we will be talking every week, having a drink for in memory or cheersing to a really important black activist.
Yeah. And also get ready for some takeovers, everybody, as well. Including next week. So tune in next week. We have a very exciting takeover by some incredible black artists and creatives. So, birthdays, Emma Barr. Yes! As a kid, I freaking loved them.
As a kid?
Yeah.
Has it stopped?
Well, oh no. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll talk a little bit about the teenage years.
Oh, sure.
But as a kid, absolutely loved it. My favourite kind of parties were disco parties, magic parties, swimming pool parties, like those big inflatable things you could climb on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I never went to a birthday like that. Incredible.
Them. And they were always in, like, everyone had their birthday in, like, the local leisure sports centre.
Oh,
and
funny.
Everyone in the class had the same centre. And we always went to the long tables where you had, like, you had an invite. On your invite, you had to pick if you wanted sausages, chicken nuggets, and then beforehand, and you'd RSVP with that. And you always had, I remember, a massive bowl of baked beans, which would just come round and be served.
Oh my God, that's so British.
Yeah, I know. Sausages or chicken nuggets, no veggie option at that time, chips and baked beans.
Oh my God, funny. It was pizza, always pizzas, pizza parties
yeah.
for us. And a lot of movies were in movie theatres. Movies. Birthdays were in movie theatres. That was a big thing.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was something you could take everyone... And I remember the movie theaters were all quite new, so it was just like... And they had those party rooms that you could rent out.
Yeah.
I think for parents it was an easy way to get it all done. I feel like you said swimming pool parties. I don't remember ever doing that. I don't remember birthdays from classmates or friends ever happening in summer because summer holidays you didn't see anyone from school.
Oh, so boo if your birthday's then. I have a birthday always normally around bank holiday because it's end of May.
Right.
So a lot of people used to go in like a bank holiday. I was like, no, stay for my party.
No,
it's a roller
like
disco.
Tobogganing birthdays, like things inside because winter. Maybe that's just my perspective because I'm a December birthday. But I used to always complain that because I love swimming, that I always wanted a summer birthday. And I used to campaign to celebrate my half birthday.
Of course you did, Emma. Of course you did.
It was never successful, but...
I will happily celebrate a half birthday for you.
It's now. We missed it.
Oh,
wait, no, it might be today. Oh, no,
what about a 3/4 birthday?
It's not. It's in a few days. It's in 5 days.
Let's do it. We're going to do it. Everybody, let's get on the half birthday celebrations.
I feel a bit silly because it's just been your birthday and then it's Ingrid's birthday, so I don't want to like claim the...
But I want to celebrate you every day.
Well, that's fine. You can do that.
I do celebrate you every day. And then moving forward from quite the young kids, what about when sleepovers started to happen?
Oh,
like
or
snacks.
as my mum would say, my mum hated sleepovers,
Yeah.
and she used to be like, I just don't understand. No one sleeps. Because you didn't. You literally
didn't.
spent the whole night up.
You didn't.
Eating, laughing, giggling.
Yeah. And there was always one person who cried and had to go home. Always. I remember the name of a particular girl who always went home and was always like pretended bellyache. No, hell no. I'm sleeping with my peeps. I'm in the centre of the party when it's
cuddling everyone.
Exactly. How did you know? But there was one traumatic incident. We're actually talking about trauma in this episode, but this was quite scarring. So it was my best friend Beth's birthday, and she had the coolest house. It was so cool, and there was a basement, and it was her birthday, and we all went round, and they wanted to watch Titanic, and we were not yet of the age 12. It's a rating 12. And I and my other best friend Rosalind were not allowed to watch anything that was not of our age rating. And everyone was like, let's watch Titanic. And I got in a big grump. And Rosalind, my other best friend, was like, Jess, come on, let's just watch it. And I was like, if our mums find out, we're in so much trouble. I don't think we watched it. But then we were drinking like loads of fizzy pop, loads of Ribena, I remember specifically. And then we all did eventually fall asleep. And then I woke up a little bit earlier than everyone. And I was like, why am I so wet? I was like, why is my sleeping bag so wet? And I'd wet myself at this massive sleepover. And I like ran upstairs onto the first floor.
How old were you?
We were probably like 10, 11. I know we were almost 12. And I ran upstairs and I was so mortified. I was like, oh my God, I wet myself. And then I went back downstairs and I quickly rolled up my sleeping bag and shoved it in a black sack, which I'd brought it in. And then my mum picked me and Rosalind up. And I remember Rosalind like holding my sleeping bag at one point and being like, it's all wet. And my mum was touching and being like, oh, it's all wet. And she went, was it damp in that basement? I was like, yeah, it's so damp.
Oh, no.
And then I got home and I just cried to my mum. I was like, it's not damp. I wet myself.
Oh, poor
Horrible.
baby Jess. That's terrifying.
Yeah, wetting yourself at a sleepover. Oh, God.
So I wasn't allowed sleepovers forever. And when they were allowed, you were not allowed maximum 2 other people. That was like...
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
You didn't have like the 12 people?
I went to those sleepovers sometimes, much older than 12, not at that age. My mum is so anti-sleepover. It's just quite funny to think of now back, like, why was that my mum's big issue? I don't know. We didn't get into much trouble. But this also suits me as a personality because around the age of 9, my best friend Melissa moved in next door and she's 3 days older than me. So we had birthday week forever and that was so exciting. But I changed my tactic. As a kid, I had massive birthdays with lots of kids. And by the time I was 9, 10, oh no.
My fluff necklace just broke. It's all right, everyone.
It didn't break. It just, the thing came undone.
It's all right.
It's fixable.
It's fixable. Melissa and you celebrating your birthday.
Well, no, so around 9 or 10, I changed how I had birthdays and my parents would let me pick 1 or 2 really close friends and then we would do something quite extravagant.
Oh,
So
I like
instead
that.
of it being a big party where we have like goodie bags and stuff, I would get to pick one or two friends. So
bags.
I remember my 12th birthday, my parents took Melissa and I to Niagara Falls for a whole weekend.
Wow.
And we stayed in a hotel and we had a fancy dinner with them and we went and
Epic.
did stuff. But that was because it was one friend. And that suits me because, as you probably know,
Yeah.
listeners, 1-to-1 is what I like. And I'm obsessed with birthdays.
Yes.
But I love celebrating my birthday because I like making people do what I want, but I don't like being center of attention.
Yes.
So a party actually freaks me out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love that. And that's the nicest of getting older. And I think Emma and I are both saying, like, we're not asked about the birthday anymore, but we definitely use it as an excuse to see our loved ones.
Yeah.
To get our loved ones in the same room.
Yeah.
But I do have a funny story. It's funny now. But basically, Emma hates surprises. Like, don't ever
That's on my
surprise
list.
Emma. Can we kick it off now, this story?
Yeah, go for it.
So Emma does not like surprises, although I didn't know at the time as to what extent. And Ingrid had messaged me. This was 2 birthdays
It's not that
ago.
I just don't like surprises. I need to like get out front and say I actually get terrified of a surprise and it makes me really overwhelmed and then I react quite badly even if I love what you've done.
Yeah.
I just get mad and scared.
Yeah. So I didn't know this. And Ingrid had messaged me and been like, I want to surprise Emma for her birthday. And the plan was that she would take Emma out to Bath in southwest England. And then me and my ex and a friend would come to the flat, cook a dinner, and then everyone would be there to be surprised when they came back. And Ingrid accidentally then messaged me about the birthday in our group message and then was like, fuck. And I was like, quickly delete it. And she deleted it and we thought Emma had never seen. And then Emma messaged me saying, so am I supposed to pretend that I don't know about this surprise party? And I was like, what surprise party? What? Huh? What are you chatting about? And then Emma was like, I do not like surprises. I do not want this. I was like, no surprise party. I was like, yeah, no, don't worry. If it comes up, then I'll say no. And then, so it's all spoken about. And Ingrid had assured me that.
Well, Ingrid then told me, because I
Yeah.
confronted her, naturally. I'm a confrontational kind of girl. And said, look, I really don't want to do something that I don't know about. At least tell me what it is. You don't have to tell me who's there, but let me be prepared for what it is.
Yes.
And she said, yeah, okay, it's just a party at a restaurant. You were just going to meet some people at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Which is not the truth, everyone.
And it wasn't the truth for me either, because then Ingrid said, no, it's fine, like, Emma knows now, but still come down, still cook the meal, still have everyone. And I was like, but Ingrid, like, does Emma know about this? Yeah, it's all cool, it's all fine. So we came down, we cooked, we decorated, and then we all hid in the bedroom, turned the lights off. We got the text, Emma's coming. And then the
we were
lights
coming
off.
back from Bath. We'd been at the spa, which was
Yeah.
lovely. It was a beautiful day.
Beautiful
Thank you, Ingrid.
day. Yeah.
But as we got off the train, it poured rain. We didn't
Poured.
have umbrellas. We didn't have proper coats on. So we looked so gross. I was still wearing a wet swimsuit underneath my clothing from the spa. No makeup on.
So uncomfortable.
Which might sound really superficial, but I have really low self-esteem, so I like to plan my outfits as well.
Like, way in advance.
Yeah,
Like, we're
and-
planning a year ahead of an event.
Yeah, and Ingrid had promised me, okay, well, I promise you'll have time after to go home and get ready. And
Yes.
you know what? All it needed was for her to say, you won't have very much time, and I would have brought it with me to Bath.
That would have been a good plan.
All she needed to do, and I might have been less annoyed. But also, well, keep going.
But what happened instead is that we were all in the bedroom, giggle, like 10 of us. And we all had our phones videoing, ready for this big reveal. And then we just hear the front door open. And then I just hear, are there people in my house? And I was like, fuck. And we were like, stop recording. And then Emma opened up the door, hair soaked, looking a bit bedraggled, I may say, my darling.
Indeed.
And then just looked so mad. And we were like, surprise. And then it was like, everyone out. And then I was in the room with you while you were hair drying in a massive grump. I was like, I'm just going to get you some Prosecco, my love. Get the Prosecco. Prosecco!
And the other thing was, our amazing friend Giulietta had come from Italy for the party. But the week before, because Ingrid had been speaking to her a lot, instead of, I don't know, she told me, Giulietta, I'm mad at Giulietta right now because she doesn't want to come to our wedding because she doesn't support or something. So she's in my bedroom at my surprise party, and I still haven't worked out that they were only speaking because of the party. And I still think, but Giulietta's here, but I thought she doesn't like our marriage, so now I'm like really confused why you're here.
No.
And that was supposed to be a surprise.
But it all turned out well, because once our darling Emma had sunk a few Proseccos, we were all like playing games at home and stuff, and then Emma just went, so when are we going out?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to go out? I'm like, okay, dancing shoes everywhere.
A restaurant and a night out.
Yeah.
Oh. Basically, I just built up. I like to have my own plans. I like to know my outfit and what I need to do, and I just like to be prepared for things because I have my own expectations.
So if ever you want to celebrate Emma, just get in contact with me, and get in contact with both of us. I want to be part of it.
Yeah.
But who does like surprises?
So Jess.
Yay.
Because I actually like doing surprises. I like to be engaged in the process of surprising someone, should they be okay with it.
How lucky am I to have a best friend who wants to surprise me, and I want to be surprised.
And so Jess loves it. So, and in fact, originally, before lockdown, I was planning a party for Jess for her 30th. Quite a big party. There was like just under 60 people on the invite list. Which she did know about, because I was like, I don't want to surprise her with this. I want her to buy the right outfit.
Well, I was going to wear, and we were going to wear matching, weren't we?
Well,
zebra
complimentary.
print.
Yeah.
Compliment. I was going to wear like a zebra pin-up dress with red stilettos. Oh,
yeah.
Mama, I would eat myself.
Yeah, I was going to wear zebra trousers and my lilac wrap shirt.
I love that lilac wrap shirt on you.
I know.
You look fit.
Thank you. It would have been so good.
We'll do it next year.
Yeah. But because of lockdown, I had the place booked, but I had to just cancel, and I hadn't even sent out invitations yet. So, yeah, but Jess was going to be with us during lockdown. That became quite apparent that it was going to last until her birthday. So I started being tricky, thinking, because it's not just any birthday, it's her 30th, everyone. So we had to do something to make you feel loved properly.
Basically, I need to feel loved.
Well, there was two aims here. Celebrate the birthday and help Jess feel loved. So I got in touch with, I think it was 10 of the key people who'd been invited to your who would have been the core people at your birthday party, and said, okay, let's do a Zoom brunch to surprise Jess. Which was funny because I feel like that's so predictable during lockdown, that someone was going to be on a video call, and Jess was like, no idea. What's it going to be? Where are we going? We're like, we're not actually going anywhere.
The day before, they were like, you need to set your alarm for 6 a.m. You need to pack a bag.
This is Ingrid again with her lies that don't need to be said.
But I believed it.
I know, you loved it. So Jess woke up. We said, get ready. You have to be ready for 10. The day before, we'd said 6 a.m.
And they didn't mean it. It was a lie. But my body clock then woke up at 6, and I was waiting for 3 hours for you to wake up.
So we said, Jess, stay in this part of the flat. Get ready. We're gonna make brunch so we can eat quickly before we go somewhere. Which again was a lie. So she's in the other room. We cooked all the food. We got onto the Zoom. It was really funny actually, because Zoom decided to do an update for everyone the morning of.
Abigail told me. My best mate, Abigail.
So one person was like, it's doing an update, and then everyone was. So we postponed for a few minutes. The adrenaline of surprising someone. But it was incredible.
Fine, because I was reading through my surprise 30th book at the time.
I hadn't said that part yet.
10 million times. Okay.
Yeah. So she came into the room and all of her friends were there on Zoom.
It was so nice.
While I was cooking, I said to Ingrid, I just realised because it was brunch and other people had food as well. I just said to Ingrid, I just realised she's not going to eat this because she's going to be too excited.
And what happened?
She didn't eat it, and she drank 2 bottles of Prosecco on her own.
And what happens when you drink 2 bottles of Prosecco on an empty stomach?
You get grumpy and pass out on the floor.
Team, I am never grumpy. So what happened is, It was so beautiful. And what was amazing is all of my best friends I have best friends from all different walks of life. And then they were all in the same screen and they all finally got to meet each other. And the majority of the brunch I remember, except the two final people, my sister Charlotte and my best friend Claire, they gave me loads of pearls of wisdom about being in your 30s. Those I forget. And then I organised Taskmaster. You might know there's a TV game show called Taskmaster. And I actually this was the bit I planned myself to do with our Italian friends in Thailand. So we then had a Zoom party with them and I was the Taskmaster making everyone do games. It is absolutely blank in my mind. I do remember doing it.
Well,
and then
it started before Taskmaster. Jess was quite drunk. So was Ingrid, but slightly more present than you were, and I was probably a whole bottle behind both of you. And the friends in Thailand were 15 minutes late calling, so Jess was so angry that they would do this to her on her birthday. So she started the whole game being annoyed at everyone. And then we were playing games, and in the Taskmaster games, the Taskmaster, who's Jess, decides who wins. And so you kept saying, Emma wins! Emma wins! So I won every round, and our friend was actually like, I think this is rigged. I think it's unfair because Emma's going to win everything. In fairness, I was the least drunk of all of the people, so I was actually doing the games properly.
Yeah.
And then there was one task that was just a step too far for all of us. You wanted us all to write a romantic poem to you, and none of us were in a position to do that. And then she got so annoyed that no one wanted to write her a poem, she lay down on the floor and woke up an hour later.
I fell asleep. It was my first ever nap, and it happened on my 30th. Well, my day before my 30th birthday, but my 30th birthday. And then when I woke up, I was livid that no one had called me to do Taskmaster. And you were like, we've just played Taskmaster for 3 hours. And I was like, why did no one do, it's my 30th birthday, I organised this party, no one's come to my party, and we'd already had the party.
And the thing was, everyone, this conversation we had on repeat for the rest of the day. Every 30 minutes, Jess was like, we didn't do Taskmaster. And we were like, yeah, we did. Jess spoke to her mum for about an hour, doesn't remember it.
Don't remember it. And that is actually the first, I am bladdered a lot. And then the next day, I've never been drunk in front of my mum though. And the next day I spoke to my mum, I was telling her stuff. She's like, yeah, I know we were on the phone yesterday. So we chatted on the phone, on video call. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, you were really drunk. I was like, oh.
It was funny. But then the highlight of the surprise this year was that during all of this, I got in touch with Jess's sister and got the contacts for both of her parents and have been communicating with them because I did make a scrapbook of handwritten messages from everyone because I feel like everything's virtual at the moment, so we wanted something tangible to give her. And so everyone was taking photographs of their handwritten messages I put in the book with pictures of her whole life.
It's beautiful.
Her parents were so obliging in sending messages and pictures, and it was really lovely. And actually, I'm now best friends with Kim. Hi, Kim.
Yay!
This has been the best thing for my month of May.
Aww.
And at one point, Kim said, because Kim bakes really beautiful gluten-free and vegan cakes.
Yeah. Really beautiful.
She's a fantastic baker. And she said, oh, I just wish I could be with my baby on her 30th to give her a cake.
Oh, bless her.
And we said, oh, wouldn't that be nice? And I said, Kim, maybe you can send me a recipe and I'll make one. The next day she said, actually, I've just looked it up. It's a 3 hours drive to Swindon. I'll bring you a cake and we can eat it at distance. So we had a surprise picnic with Kim on the Sunday on Jess's actual birthday. And again, Jess is so, if you want to surprise someone, pick Jess because she's so easy. We took her to the park.
Idea.
I cleaned the whole flat in the morning because I was worried that Kim was going to need to use a toilet because the park didn't have any. And Jess just thought I was just cleaning at 9 a.m. on a Sunday after a really bad drink day, and then was like, okay, Jess, we need to be at the park for 12:20, and she doesn't question it. She's like, yeah, of course. She thinks it's just us going to the park, but we have to be there at 12:20.
Absolutely.
Then we are lying on the mat in the park. We've brought our picnic, and for some reason you brought it up. You started talking about dog breeds.
Yeah, I asked Ingrid about I was like, do you know what dog breed you want?
And so Jess says, well, I love my mum's collie, beautiful dog, and then keeps talking with Ingrid, and then Ingrid and I are facing the other direction. We can see Kim and her husband Glenn coming with their dog behind Jess, and I'm casually filming it. And at one point, the dog comes up onto the mat, and then Ingrid says, "Oh, like just like this collie." And Jess, you knew immediately, didn't you?
I knew immediately it's Demi. Demi dog is so distinctive. It's like that is only Demi. She's older now. I can't believe it, but she's a puppy, and it's her little puppy, beautiful face, and she knows me. So she was just like, Jessica.
Yeah,
I was like, Demi.
And how was that surprise for you?
It was magical, and it was just so beautiful because then I just turned around and I saw my mum, and she was so happy. And it's really beautiful because my mum and I, which is going to link back to previous birthdays, we've had some really difficult years, and we've actually, like, just going to say, Mum, haven't we? We've worked through a lot. We were very distant. We didn't speak for a long time. And the last year especially, me and my mum have become so much closer. Like, I love my mum. We've really resolved a lot of our relationship, and I'm so happy she's my mum, and she's so proud that I'm her daughter. And it was just this, like, finally we were celebrating a birthday together, and it was my 30th. And she was so cute, wasn't she? She was just, like, sitting on the grass, like, 2 meters away from us, but just, like, sitting with the girls. Like,
it was
just being
absolutely
so cute.
lovely.
And the main thing is that then my mum was just like, Emma and Ingrid are family. And it was just so, like, I can't ask for anything. That's what I wanted for my birthday, just all of my loved ones together. She loves you and Ingrid so much.
We love her.
She's fun. She's so fun.
We had the best time, and it was really nice to see, because I know a lot of the history with your mum, and I feel like you wouldn't have expected her to do this. And what was clear to me through our whole month of communicating is just how much she loves you, and that she just wanted to be there with you on that day. So,
and what about the present she got me?
We were so happy to facilitate that for you. Oh yeah, cute.
Thank you. The present is really cute. She knows I have trouble sleeping, and I really have struggled with sleeping by myself. And she got me the best present. It's called a Snuggie. It's like a really squishy pillow. But then she got a really soft 200 thread count pillowcase to put it in. And then this beautiful sleep spray. Mum, I have slept solid every night since. I do not sleep.
The last one up in the flat at the moment, which is big.
Yeah. And I'm just once I'm asleep, I'm sleeping solid. Like, I'm literally holding it like a person.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But it was really funny because then we found out that my mum's husband Glenn has one, and it has a name called Sushi. Sorry, Glenn. But then Glenn was videoing us, photographing us.
Oh yeah, we've got some lovely images.
Yeah.
It was nice to have a photographer in the park with us.
Yeah, it was so gorgeous. So thank you so much, Emma and Ingrid.
No, thanks for sharing your 30th with us.
Which goes down to lockdown birthdays. They're absolutely okay. Like, actually, I'm not going to say that because they also cannot be okay. But if you have your friends just making whatever they can of it, it makes you feel so special. And it doesn't matter. I felt connected with everyone without being in direct contact.
It has felt like something we've had to look forward to, and an occasion.
Yeah.
And we've not had any occasions.
And again,
lockdown.
what we've said about loneliness in our episode about that, for example, like about making memories. We haven't made any memories, and suddenly we have memories.
Yeah, gorgeous memories.
Yeah. So that was gorgeous, and we're loving adulthood dictating how we want our birthdays to happen as an excuse to get people together.
Yeah.
I would say, I'm not going to go into this, but I'm going to use this as a springboard into what I would like to talk about today as well, apart from the long chat that we've just had. So my teenage years, as you know, listeners, if you've listened to each episode, my teenage years were really severe mental health, and I did not want to celebrate my birthday. I wanted to be invisible in my birthday. I remember having a tantrum when two of my best friends popped round to see me on my 18th, and I was in despair because I just didn't want to celebrate my birthday because my mental health was so bad. I wasn't happy. I didn't want to celebrate. I was so unhappy with myself. My mental health was bad. Yeah. So I wasn't happy being present. So actually maybe content warning just about mental health here and what can be the trauma of birthdays. And I never really knew how to phrase that. But then last year I went to an event by the incredible charity Body and Soul. And Body and Soul work with children who have experienced trauma. And they do lots of work like creative workshops. They do provide counselling. They provide like financial support. They provide safe spaces. And I went to their event, which was for celebrating their 23rd birthday as a charity called For the Lost Birthdays. And I went there with podcast listener James. And I learnt so much about the trauma of birthdays. And why for some people the birthday is the worst day of the year for some people. So I'm just going to talk through some things here about why birthdays can be called birthday depression, birthday blues, among many reasons. But let's just talk about why people might experience birthday blues, birthday depression, which is a feeling of not wanting that day, dreading that day. And there's so many reasons. So, for example, people with anxiety.
Ciao.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, otherwise, if you feel like you have to be social, if you feel like it's really tiring celebrating your birthday, it can be really apprehensive. And that leads me into also, if you're an introverted person, if you don't want to make a big deal of it, if you don't really want to have lots of people saying hi, saying yay, saying have an amazing day.
Or jumping out at you.
Yeah, or jumping out at you. With mental illnesses, if you have a mental health condition, if you're feeling depressed anyway, if you have any other mental health conditions, and then suddenly it's like, hi, it's your birthday, yay, woo, woo, woo. How difficult is that to then try and combat your depression for like one day? Also, if you have a physical disability or a physical illness, maybe you have visions of how you'd like to celebrate your birthday. Maybe you'd like to go out to a bar. Maybe you'd like to go to a club and dance. But if you have a physical disability and you cannot access that party, and you might see other people celebrating their birthday in that way, then that also is going to not make you feel very good on your birthday. And then there's the other things, such as maybe it's just an expectation of, I should have done this at this age. You've got another year older.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I wanted to achieve this. It's been a whole other year, and it's been a whole other year and I had a shit year. Or it's been a whole other year and I wanted to get this job. It's been a whole other year and I'm still broke.
Yeah.
It's been a whole other year and these wrinkles have come onto my face.
Yeah.
So you might then experience feelings of failure around your birthday, because there's a lot of pressure on yourself and what you're going to do. Also, just indeed pressure in general. If everyone's like, you're having a magical day, have a great day. But it can also lead into, oh gosh, there's so much more though. Not having many friends. I'm so blessed. Yeah. I am so blessed by my beautiful friends. I love you all. And again, then nostalgia as well. Like, if you're reaping back to, I used to have beautiful childhood birthdays and they're not like that anymore.
Or you've lost someone recently.
So this then leads me into, about family as well. Family and friends. If you've lost people and they are not there on your birthday, then that birthday might never be the same again for you.
Also, their birthdays.
Yeah, their birthdays. Supporting loved ones who, when it's somebody that they've lost, it's their birthday.
Yeah.
There's not just the day of their birthday, there's the month before it. It's knowing we're now in the month of April. I lost my father, I lost my sibling in the month of April. The month of April in its whole entirety is so difficult.
Yeah.
And so, linking back to Body and Soul, the reason why this was called For the Lost Birthdays is it's linking back to childhood trauma. So as a kid, if you were neglected, if there was abuse within your family, the birthday is not something that you ever feel like celebrating. It's actually, it can be, unfortunately, if you feel like, but I just wish I wasn't born, it can link back, like, it's really intense.
Of course,
there was a lot of poetry, a lot of readings on this event, and it really hit like me hard, and just to hear people speak so openly and honestly about why it was difficult. And I'd like to highlight an incredible writer called Lem Sissay, who actually was the writer for the official poet for the 2012 Olympics, I believe.
Oh, really?
I think an MBE, and was such a cool performer alongside, like, you can just tell they have a heart of gold and are so lovely. But I'd love you, everybody, to look up their work. You can look on blog.lemsissay.com, which is LEMNSISSAY. And, for example, they've got a blog post on there, which they wrote May 15th, 2020. So it's a very recent one. And it's titled, When a Birthday's the Worst Day of Your Life.
Oh.
So I'm just going to read bits of it. From childhood and in adulthood, birthdays and Christmas days were the most torturous days of the year for me. One in the heart of summer, one in the bowels of winter. Each struck like a sickness, whose symptoms laid me low, while the disease spread until the full-blown life-threatening day came upon me. But it isn't like that anymore. These occasions are habits. The habit of the event causes the habit of thought. Or does the habit of thought cause the habit of the event? Habits are addictive. Negative ones or positive ones. Poetry has a way to challenge habits of thought. So, yes, I think, and we'll talk a bit, won't we, Emma, just in terms of how to support if actually birthdays are a very difficult time. Please do look on Lem's website to read more poetry, to read more blog posts. I'm going to read a poem by Lem at the end, or we are, sorry, Emma, which is called Colourblind. So we're going to come back to that at the end, which is actually going to just detach from birthdays for a moment. And
bring us into the now.
Bring us into the now. But then moving on from the reasons why you might not want to celebrate your birthday, and then maybe you feel shame because you're supposed to want to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
People then might be like, oh, I've tried to reach out to them, or I've tried to do this,
Yeah.
and they haven't got on contact. But here we've got about some ways that you can deal with that difficulty there. Emma, how about planning ahead?
Yeah.
Like you just said earlier, Emma, like...
But that can be good and bad. So I like to plan how I want to celebrate my birthday because my anxiety makes it scary for me to be in a surprise scenario or to not know what's coming, and I like to be in control. But sometimes that works in the opposite way on me, where not necessarily for my birthday, but it has happened on my birthday before, but on other people's occasions where I've tried to make it happen a certain way and it hasn't gone as planned, that's also when I feel out of control. Like Ingrid's 30th last year, I was in the throes of quite a bad anxiety break at the same time, but the things that I had planned in her birthday, which was in Bristol, hadn't gone to plan the way I had planned it.
Yeah.
She thinks it's an excellent day, but I was just not prepared for it to change, even in the subtlest way. And so because of that, I was so mean to her and had a massive breakdown on the actual day of her birthday because nothing had happened the way I wanted it to happen. So I think it's the problem with birthdays is it's like this marker coming up, and there's this as we've said, the expectation around it can be really terrifying to deal with.
Yeah.
Same thing happened on my birthday this year. I mean, we left a club with me sobbing.
Yeah. And I do feel a bit bad about that because it was Emma's birthday and we went to Leeds.
Yes.
And you'd had a tattoo that day. And me and our lovely podcast listener and friend Christina had driven up to Leeds and we'd rented an Airbnb.
Yeah.
We got really silly and drunk.
But again, I'd had a really bad day. Like I was quite bad anxiety that week.
Yes.
We've been living in London at this point, so it was my first time seeing Ingrid, and I was just not in a good place.
Maybe you just didn't need me and Christina to come up at that point.
I just didn't need my birthday that weekend, but I wanted it to be my birthday.
Yeah, but then what? My poor little Emma. Because then what happened was we were then in this amazing bar. It was super cool. It was very loud though. It was very, very
so
loud. And the more we got drunk, the Geminis then were very excited by new friends.
Yes.
And me and Ingrid were just like chatting to these people.
Yeah.
And then there was a point where me and Ingrid both disappeared, didn't we?
Yeah.
I was dancing with strangers. She was dancing with strangers. We were both so drunk.
In that loud underground room. And I just was
Yeah.
like, I can't be in this room, and left.
It was so bassy, wasn't
and then
it?
couldn't find you two.
Yeah, I'm so stupid
okay.
Geminis.
No,
but then,
no.
and it was so weird because it was Christmas time and there was like a reindeer drag show.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just remember Ingrid just grabbing me from grinding on some random girl. And I was like, hold on a minute, Ingrid, I think I'm in. And then she just grabbed me and was like, Emma needs you. And then you just had your little head in your hands and you were crying. And I just like grabbed you and wrapped my arms around you. And it was like, right, home, let's go.
And this is not to say that this is related to a lot of the issues on this thing, but I do understand when the birthday goes wrong, the extreme reactions that could be had.
But I also, that like last year was my year of learning about your anxiety, about how to support you. And I hadn't even realised then how to best support you there. And so now I know not to run off and grind on another human.
No,
on
but
your
if
birthday.
I'm well, then it's fine. I'm with you. But I was unwell that day.
Yeah. And anyway, you've come on amazing leaps and bounds anyway since.
Thanks to therapy.
Yay, love you, therapy. But again, this says here, like, take charge and be responsible, like, for your own birthday.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. If you want, keep your birthday to yourself.
This is something I feel like, again, we could learn about, because I'm the person where if I find out it was your birthday at work and you haven't told me, I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Oh,
it always happens, doesn't? There's always that one person who, like, suddenly somebody at 4 p.m. went on Facebook and saw that it's their colleague's birthday.
Yeah.
They sat there next to them since 9 a.m. and then there's like, oh my god, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
And it's never occurred to me that would be maybe not the thing people want to have shouted in their face.
Yeah. So we're learning a lot here. Like, this is definitely something to think about.
Yes.
And I think this is really important. Stick to your routine. If you want to just stick to your daily routine, like you're getting up, you're having your breakfast, you maybe go for a walk, you're doing your work. Like, if you want to stick to your routine because your routine is very important to you,
do it.
Then don't throw it off. Be gentle and compassionate with yourself. Maybe book yourself a spa treatment, a massage, just for your very own self, your very own pleasure.
Take your day to do it as you will. It doesn't have to include other people to celebrate.
Do you want to go to a little cafe and have a cheeky little slice of cake by yourself? Absolutely. Take your favourite book. But then there's other things here, like such as, I actually read something else the other day, which was like a bit like journaling. Write about, like, what have you accomplished? What would you like to maybe happen over the next year? Like,
I feel like this might have been relevant for you on this birthday as well, Jess, because I think as much as you are a birthday lover, you've turned 30.
Yes.
And you've had a crazy year plus a pandemic to top it all off, which means that you're maybe not in the place you thought you'd be at 30.
And honesty, podcast listeners, with all this bright excitement, the day after my birthday, lo and behold, I didn't see it coming.
The lowest of the lows.
I was fucking low, wasn't I?
It wasn't a day, it was 2 days.
It was, podcast listeners, so I know, maybe we should have said this earlier, I then had 2 very dark cloud days.
Yeah.
But luckily, in my 30th surprise book, Emma has, like, if half of it is filled, it's a beautiful book, half of it is filled with the letters from my friends, and then Emma wrote on the last page, fill this with your adventures and your memories of the 30th. And it kind of made me be like, okay, what do I want to do? And then also to get out thoughts and feelings. Like, it is, again, another space for me to just think. But yeah, I don't know what happened. Emma was so kind. She kept hugging me those couple of days.
And you kept being like, nothing's wrong, with that voice where something's wrong. And Ingrid even said, if this is what not wrong looks like, I'm glad she's not wrong.
Oh my God. But I didn't have any words. I wasn't, like, normally when I'm upset, I'd be like, fucking this, fucking that, or I'll cry and be like, Whereas I had silence, and my brain was silent.
But can you imagine everyone just being silent for 2 days? It was so terrifying.
Emma just kept looking at me like,
Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
Well, you wrote me a beautiful letter.
Yes. Well, there was no conversation that was going to happen, so I needed to give her my opinion somehow.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, and I still can't put it into words, but something happened, and I just, maybe subconsciously there was just okay, I'm 30, and I'm never somebody who's like, oh my God, I'm turning this age. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Get me older, please. Get me wiser, please.
Yeah.
But something maybe was just like, again, that expectation. I was like, maybe I would have had a partner. But actually, I don't think it was even that.
But I think it might even be, it's lockdown and the year you planned can't happen.
Yeah.
And so add that to birthday drama.
Yeah.
Add that to everything, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is totally fair.
So, podcast listeners, let us know. How do you feel about birthdays? Do you love your birthday? Have you got any birthday traditions? Oh, we have some nice traditions lined up in our research. But of course, do get in touch with your comments, thoughts at Fluff Creatives on Instagram and the old Twitter. And our email, fluffinquiries@gmail.com. Emma.
Yeah.
I know we have our traditions here.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk through those?
Yeah, let's.
Where are we at? Oh, it's time.
Yeah.
Wow. Should we take in turny twos?
Yeah, I'll take a turny two with you.
Oh, a turny two with me. Okay, so as you know, we love learning about what's going on around the world and different traditions. So here we've got 16 birthday traditions around the world that might surprise you.
Woo-hoo!
And I love also how there's traditions within family units, within friends.
Yeah.
But let's start here. So in Latin American countries, a girl's 15th birthday is celebrated with, so there's like, it begins with a mass and then it ends with a party, as it's both a religious and social. Thank you. I wasn't reading up
it. Yeah.
Quinceañera, which is basically a celebration which starts with a mass, ends with a party, and is a religious and social recognition of womanhood.
Whoa. That's
okay, so
thing.
age 15.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of like celebration about womanhood, which also could be quite pressure when you're like, but I'm still a child or something. Yeah. But there we go.
Or not a woman.
Yes. I'm not a girl.
Exactly. Another fairly well-known Latin American, primarily Mexican, birthday tradition involves beating an object with a stick until candy falls out.
Piñata!
I had a piñata at my 6th birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And there were only 2 boys invited to this birthday, and I think there were about 20 girls. And one of the boys, Nicky, he lived across the street. He was there because his sister was my friend.
Oh, right.
He put the blindfold on, took the stick, and beat my mum.
What, accidentally?
Yeah.
Thought she was a piñata.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I still feel guilty about that to this day, and it wasn't even me, but it was my birthday. And I remember it was one of my first memories of seeing my mum get hurt.
Was she actually hurt?
She was badly hurt by Nicky.
Whereabouts did it?
It was just once, but like whacked her quite hard. She's a short woman. I think it happened. I don't remember where it hit, but I remember seeing pain and was like, my mum.
Oh my God. And did that like infect the rest of your birthday in a while? Or
no, I think I still had a great time.
Yeah.
But
piñatas are dangerous.
Yeah, they are dangerous, but they are
blindfolded.
Quite an interesting tradition.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, and I didn't know this actually, that the piñata might be formed like a traditional donkey or cartoon character, even politicians. Well, we could do that.
Yeah.
So basically it's like a stress reliever. In old tradition in parts of Germany, for men who were still single on the 30th birthday, all right, was to sweep the steps of City Hall while dressed in drag until they could find a virgin to kiss. Ooh, boo. Should we just skip over this? Well, how about now single men and women?
You can still say what it is, but...
Oh, yeah. Fortunately, it's modernised. There we go. So now single men and women spend their 30th drinking cheap booze with their friends while sweeping steps or doing other chores to show they're eligible for marriage.
Ooh, it's a lot about... Well, I suppose it is birthdays, like different cultural points of development.
Yeah. Society's putting the pressure on us.
Oh, can I read this one? You can read that one because it's a Canadian
one.
Go on.
So in both Brazil and Jamaica, there are traditions that involve getting flour thrown at you. So Jamaicans will sometimes be, in quotation marks, antiqued, aka covered in flour on their birthday. Brazilian kids take it a step further and throw not just flour, but also eggs at the birthday child. So I wonder, I suppose flower is maybe a symbol of like growth. Is it eggs is definitely like new life, I suppose.
I have no idea.
So I don't want to burp in your
I have no idea
face.
where that's come from. And I'm about to read this Canadian one, but I've never heard of this before. Let me know, listeners, if you've heard of this. In a similar vein, Canadians often get greased on their birthdays, which means their friends and relatives ambush them and smear butter on their noses to ward off bad luck. I've never heard of that.
I've got some Vitalite.
But interesting to learn.
Actually, I just remember the birthday bumps because I've just read. Do you have birthday bumps?
Not that I know of.
So we used always on the kid's birthday, people hold the arms, hold the legs, and they swing you up and down, like a parachute. You get the birthday bumps, and you do it for how many years you are. So like 1,
terrible.
2. It is actually terrifying.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the attention. But in the US, you get birthday pinches. So as many birthday pinches as your age. Or you get in Argentina and Hungary, people pulling your ears. And Italy. Oh my God, yeah. Friends pulling the ears, tugging for the number of years of age.
Oh, I hate this. Okay.
Jeez.
I like our tradition of Prosecco.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We're moving on to birthday foods. In China, people eat egg noodles called Chang Su Mian, let's say, on their birthday to symbolise longevity.
Oh, well, that sounds nice.
That's good.
Oh, this one's popped out to me. Australians eat fairy bread, rolled up pastry, simply consisting of buttered white bread with rainbow sprinkles on it. Yay!
The Myeokguk is a seaweed soup served in South Korea as a birthday breakfast. It's said to replenish nutrients, so mothers often eat it after going through childbirth as well. And also, I have 2 Korean, a niece and a nephew, and their first birthday is a beautiful tradition. It's it's the big celebration in your life where the baby is put with different objects that represent different sort of pathways in life. So there'll be like artistry or science or like different things. And they get put down, and whatever one they pick up, you're like, oh, that's what they're going to be. It's a really cool tradition.
Do you know what your niece and nephew picked up?
Maru picked up the tambourine, so music, and I forget what Leanne picked up.
Which is great because Maru's mum was a musician.
Yeah.
A pianist.
It's cute.
Amazing. Percussion. Yeah. Oh. Let's just look through birthday rules. Have we got anything juicy in here? Oh, so for example, like in Germany, the birthday person bakes the cake for the friends and colleagues.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah. Remember when it's like you get the birthday cakes in the office? Everyone like quickly runs to Marks and Spencer's.
I've discovered this in Italy. So in our culture, I feel like on your birthday, people buy everything for you, treat you. But in Italy, and it says in Germany and other European countries, they buy the drinks and the rounds. The birthday person buys it for everyone.
Oh, best start saving up then.
Yeah.
And this is cool. In Vietnam, people usually don't celebrate their individual birthdays. Instead, everyone celebrates together on Tet, which is the day that celebrates Vietnamese New Year, and everyone turns a year older.
That's cool.
Well, that's one hell of a party, baby. Amazing.
What if you were born the day before?
Yeah.
Then you're like a year younger than everyone.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. Well, that was interesting learning.
Should we practice how we say happy birthday in other languages?
I would love to. And repeat after us, podcast listeners.
Okay, so German, and we are not going to be able to say this because neither of us speak German.
Nuh-uh.
Okay. Alles gut zum Geburtstag.
Amazing.
I'm going to say. French, bon anniversaire.
Oh, you say it so beautifully.
Spanish, feliz cumpleaños.
Buon compleanno!
Buon compleanno in Italian. That's the only one we know. Portuguese, feliz aniversario.
See?
Swedish. You do this one.
Oh, thanks. Gratis for the dagen.
Indonesian. You can do that one as well.
I know this one. Selamat ulang tahun. I think it's like that.
Well done. Russian. Rodsdania. I tried.
We tried. Danish. Tilike med fodilsdagen.
Chinese. Mandarin. Shengri
Kuali.
Wow.
This whole article article finishes, get cultured.
Yeah.
Full stop.
All right. Well, I feel like we're trying. We had a few there that we knew.
Yeah, and what's really nice is that, for example, when Emma and I are teaching, we look at the languages that are spoken within the room and always make sure to learn how to say happy birthday, how to say hello, how are you? Check out what all of your social circle, the languages that they speak, and learn some phrases.
Yay!
So, one hell of a birthday episode here. We had a good chat, but we'd like to end today's episode.
See?
Thank you for being with us. With a poem by Lem Sisse, who we mentioned earlier, and all of their work. Look online. They're super famous for all of their amazing writing, and I cannot express enough what a lovely human they were. But going back to also using our platform to profile Black artists, BIPOC artists.
And share learning.
We could not pass by without sharing this poem called Colourblind by Lem Sisse. This was posted on Lem's website on October the 9th, 2011. So an older poem now.
Yeah.
And we'd really like to read it to you. It's really powerful. So to close our episode today, please listen on in. If you can see the sepia in the sun, shades of grey in fading streets, the radiating bloodshot in a child's eye, the dark stains on her linen sheets. If you can see oil separate on water, the turquoise of leaves on trees, the reddened flush of your lover's cheeks, the violet peace of calmed seas.
If you can see the bluest eye, the purple in petals of the rose, the blue anger, the venom of the volcano, the creeping orange of the lava flows. If you can see the red dust of the famished road, the white airtight sign of Nike's sign, the skin tone of Lucian Freud, the colours of his frozen subjects in mime.
If you can see the white mist of the oasis, the red, white and blue that you defended, if you can see it all through the blackest pupil, the colours stretching the rainbow suspended, if you can see the breached blue dusk and the caramel curls in swirls of tea, why do you say you are colourblind when you see me?
Bam.
And that, of course, is linking back to if you ever hear the phrase, maybe you have said the phrase yourself, I don't see colour when I look at people. This is because this is an offensive thing to say.
Yeah.
It's an inaccurate thing to say because we all have our own colour of the skin. And so, yes, we should be seeing, we know what colour of the skin the people are that we're talking to. We know our colour of skin, our friends, our families, people. But it's about, if you're saying that, it's like saying...
It's you're silencing race.
But basically, it means that there's the whole person there.
Yeah. So thank you, Lem Sisse, for that.
Yeah.
Poem.
Thank you so much. And thank you, podcast listeners, as always, for listening. We'll be back next week. As always, you know how to get in touch with us. And if you have any birthdays coming up...
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! And if you want us to celebrate you, let us know. And, we'll give you a shout out.
Yay!
Cheerio!
Thanks for listening. And don't forget to rate and subscribe.
We're excited to welcome you into our Fluff family and bring you some gorgeous sparkles every Friday. We got it.